Hey, so hello everybody. It's really great to be here together. And it's Friday, and we are on 12th of February. Very soon in some parts of the world is a celebration of the Valentine's Day. As part of this campaign that we started to do related to Valentine's Day as Stop TB Partnership, we are trying to show that actually we can think of tuberculosis. When we think of tuberculosis, we don't need to see just people that are very sad and crying and very unwell, which is a reality. But actually, because TB is a reality and with our life, it's very important to see how TB affects our lives in different ways. And that's why for Valentine's Day, we are trying to have brief conversations with couples from all around the world that either experienced TB all the time together, either they met because of tuberculosis and became a couple, either they, due to their love, as we heard from a couple from Tajikistan a few days ago, due to their love, they conquered everything. So yesterday we spoke with a couple from Cote d'Ivoire, our first Francophone interaction, and their beautiful daughter. And today I am extremely pleased and impressed to be here with our friends from Indonesia, Dwi and Rahmat. As you can see, not only young, but I would say, you know, and obviously keen to support us, but also, I would say, very beautiful. You look like two actors from a movie. So thank you for being with us. I also want to thank our partners from Stop TB Partnership Indonesia that will make sure will translate for us. So thank you. It's great to see you both. It's great to see you smiling. I know you have an amazing story to tell us. So maybe Thea, if you ask them to tell us, either the lady starts first or the husband, you know, how did they meet, but also what is their story with tuberculosis?
Okay. So Mas Rahmat sama Mbak Dewi, mungkin boleh cerita dulu gimana caranya kalian bertemu ketika mengalami TBC. Silakan Mbak.
Ya, sebenarnya kita ketemu itu sesudah sembuh dari TBC. Setelah sembuh kita baru ketemu gitu. Ketika kita masih sama-sama pengobatan, karena memang Dewi berdomisili di Jawa Barat dan Mas Rahmat di Jakarta, jadi kita kita beda rumah sakit gitu. Justru kita dipertemukan setelah kita sembuh, setelah kita bergabung di organisasi pasien.
Singkat cerita, kami dipertemukan di salah satu pertemuan. Sebenarnya pertemuan lintas sektor karena kita karena kita juga sama-sama berada di organisasi yang berbeda. Kita ada di pertemuan, dari situ mulai saling saling support antara oh ini mau kegiatan apa, kita saling berbagi. Ya ceritanya sampai di situ dulu kali ya Mbak.
Okay. So Chika, they met actually after both of them are cured from tuberculosis. So Dewi and Rahmat are a part of TB patient and TB survivor organizations. So Dewi was treated in West Java and Rahmat in Jakarta. And then they met through an organizational meetings of TB Survivors Network. So, and they met, they both are still continuing their fight against TB, and they're supporting each other and in the organizational activities, and so continuing to fight against TB.
This is really amazing, and I also want to thank you for bringing us the amazing background with the birds singing, because here in Europe, it's actually very cold and gray. So I understand that they both basically met because in a way their desire to help people to fight tuberculosis, right? They met after they were cured as part of the activities that they were doing to support other people. Is that right?
Yes, and they're both patient supporters for DRTB patients. Ya, jadi Mbak Rahmat sama Mbak Dewi sama Mas Rahmat ketemunya karena sama-sama pengen menolong sesama gitu ya yang terdampak TBC.
Ya,
Yes, yeah.
Yeah.
You are correct, Lucika, Lisa.
Okay, good. So what kind of TB they had? Can you just tell us a little bit about their disease, just briefly, how long it took, who they were in the same time suffering of TB, or just some details?
Ya mungkin bisa cerita Mbak Dewi sama Mas Rahmat singkat aja dulu sakitnya TBC apa, berapa lama, dan proses kesembuhannya singkat aja ya masing-masing.
Mungkin saya dulu ya Mbak. Kalau aku itu langsung ya Mbak primer. Jadi setelah aku bekerja itu aku cek, ternyata aku langsung TB-MDR di tahun 2011. Mungkin Mbak Dewi.
Kalau Dewi sendiri dulu baru pertama kena TBC itu TBC yang sensitif. Nah, tapi di situ pengobatan sesuai anjuran dokter, tapi hasilnya masih positif. Itu Dewi pertama kali kena TBC tahun 2007. Jadi minum obat yang sensitif tapi masih positif. Akhirnya tahun 2010 didiagnosa TB resisten obat. Tapi pada saat itu di Jawa Barat memang belum ada obat TB-RO. Akhirnya saya harus menunggu selama 2 tahun karena saya baru diobatin TB-RO-nya itu adalah 2012 karena waktu itu baru ada pengobatan TB-RO di Jawa Barat yaitu tahun 2012. Sebenarnya di tahun 2010 saya dirujuk ke Jakarta gitu untuk pengobatan TB resisten obat, tapi karena banyak pertimbangan dan juga memang tidak ada saudara, jadi saya mengurungkan niat untuk ke Jakarta. Jadi saya menunggu pengobatan yang ada di Jawa Barat. Tuh.
Okay, terima kasih. So Lucika, Rahmat was diagnosed with MDR-TB straight away when the first time he had the symptoms in Jakarta. Whereas for Dewi, she was diagnosed with TB and she had challenges in overcoming the first treatment, and then she was diagnosed with MDR-TB. And the first time that she had MDR-TB was about 2007, and she had to wait for the RTB treatment to be available in her province in West Java. So she waited, and then she took the treatment and got cured from it.
Yeah, so thank you. So it's interesting because they both are drug-resistant TB survivors, right?
Yes.
Maybe you translate that.
Jadi Mbak Dewi sama Mas Rahmat sama-sama sakit TB-RO ya?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and when they met, what they were doing when they met first time? Where did they meet first time? Ever? First time?
Pertama kali ketemu banget itu di pertemuan apa? Tadi kan pertemuan lintas sektor itu di hotel apa di rumah sakit gimana?
Ya, pertemuannya sebenarnya di lintas sektor itu di Dinas Kesehatan Bogor dan berlanjut di acara Pernasnya Pop TB yang baru mulai banget Pop TB didelegasikan ya, mau kita jadi Pop TB. Di situ Mbak berlanjut, kemudian singkat cerita berlanjut terus sampai kita ada di satu kegiatan yang sama dan akhirnya ya udah timbul.
Okay. Jadi so Lucika, they met for the very first time was in a Bogor district health office for an activity, and then they met again in the first meeting for the establishment of Indonesian TB patient survivors network. And after that meeting, the first time where their feelings grew was when they both participated in the same event for the Indonesian TB Survivors Network. So the feeling grows over time.
Yeah, that's what I was asking, because usually you meet first time, but then you need a bit more meetings to go to a more Valentine feeling. So you really are. I am really impressed. You really are together because of your passion to continue to support people with TB after you get cured. If you can please translate. This is unbelievable.
Jadi Ruchika menyampaikan, iya ya, memang kita butuh beberapa kali ketemu gitu kan, memang untuk perasaan itu bertumbuh gitu. Sebelum perasaan itu benar-benar jadi kayak perasaan jatuh cinta kayak lagi Valentine gitu. Terus dia juga nyampain dia kagum banget sama Mas Rahmat, sama Mbak Dewi gitu, karena memang sama-sama masih semangat gitu untuk peduli dengan teman-teman yang masih sakit TBC sekarang. They said thank you, Ruchika.
Thank you. How is I understand that they continue supporting people with TB and being engaged in this. How was last year with COVID? How much this impacted their life related to TB, but also their life as a couple and their life in Indonesia and so on? If they can tell us a few things.
Ya, boleh nggak Mas Rahmat sama Mbak Dewi cerita sedikit tentang bagaimana COVID-19 berdampak dengan kegiatannya kalian berdua gitu kan, untuk mengatasi TBC gitu, tapi juga kehidupan sebagai pasangan.
Ya, selama pandemi COVID dalam pendampingan kita bisa melakukan secara virtual, Mbak. Kayak misalkan teman-teman pasien itu bisa kasih kita kayak misalkan pesan singkat bahwa mereka melakukan minum obat dengan baik, kepatuhan pengobatannya kita ingatkan kembali, dan untuk tidak terlalu banyak keluar, karena kan sekarang juga kebetulan teman-teman yang masih pengobatan juga kan sudah lebih mudah lah, maksudnya dalam kondisi COVID ini mereka dibekali obat di rumah, dan bagaimana kita cara pendampingnya aja sih dengan tegas, dengan terus memperhatikan teman-teman minum obat. Itu sih Mbak.
Mungkin kalau Mbak Dewi bisa cerita yang bagaimana kalau COVID ini berdampak ke kehidupan sebagai pasangan gitu kan di Indonesia di masa pandemi gimana?
Kalau yang berdampak kepada pasangan, kemungkinan yang ini Mbak, kan kepala rumah tangga yang memang harus bekerja karena memang COVID ini ada yang perusahaannya jadi bangkrut, jadi akhirnya kehilangan pekerjaan gitu. Itu sangat-sangat berdampak gitu bagi pasangan yang memang terdampak yang COVID gitu. Adapun yang memang masih bekerja gitu dengan WFH, akan tetapi untuk penghasilannya mungkin jadi berkurang. Terus juga kalau ada pasangan yang memang bukan bekerja di suatu perusahaan tapi dia punya usaha gitu, jadi usahanya jadi lebih jadi sepi gitu, tidak seramai ketika sebelum pandemi. Gitu Mbak.
Terima kasih Mbak. So Ruchika, in terms of their work in TB, because they are both working in organizations in which TB survivors are empowered to be TB patient supporters, they felt that it's good that right now in Indonesia, TB patients are able to receive multi-month dispensing of TB drugs. And treatment assistance continues virtually whether through like WhatsApps or chats, to see if the patients they're supporting are indeed taking their treatments, and they still talk regularly with the patients they're supporting. And in terms of living as a couple, Dewi was explaining in journal in Indonesia, um, the lives of couples are very much impacted by COVID-19 because it affects their livelihoods. Because some in Indonesia, husbands are usually perceived as the breadwinner. So some couples they know have lost jobs, the husbands lost jobs, or if the couple have businesses together, even like small businesses, it's more quiet these days. So it really affects their livelihoods.
Yeah, I expect so. So going towards the end of this interaction, first of all, I am really happy we have a chance to speak, and I am so grateful for their positive attitude. I'm very grateful for their story, but I'm grateful for the fact that they both continue to remain engaged in patients groups, in TB survivor groups, to support the others. So maybe you translate this, then I will say something else.
Oke. Jika menyampaikan dia sangat bersyukur gitu kan, kayak kalian meluangkan waktu untuk ngobrol sama dia malam ini. Terus juga bersyukur banget Mbak Dewi sama Mas Rahmat juga tetap peduli untuk terlibat di kelompok organisasi pasien dan penyintas TBC di Indonesia gitu. Dan senang banget mendengar kalau tadi sikap kalian di situasi seperti ini tuh masih tetap positif.
We in Stop TB, we will always support in any ways we can yourself, all our partners in Indonesia. And I'm saying this for many reasons, but also we know Indonesia has a high burden of TB, and it needs a lot of support indeed to be able to become tuberculosis free.
Ya. Di Stop TB Partnership secara global itu sangat mensupport kerja-kerja untuk menanggulangi TBC di Indonesia, termasuk juga kerja-kerja dari komunitas di mana Mbak Dewi dan Mas Rahmat bergiat. Gitu. Dan Indonesia kan negara dengan beban TBC yang sangat tinggi ya di dunia. Gitu. Jadi masih banyak pekerjaan dan dukungan yang bisa diberikan.
Yes, and because unfortunately in the entire world, we are all so impacted by COVID, but in low-income countries, low-middle-income countries, tuberculosis remains the biggest infectious disease killer. We had last year around 1.5 million people that died of TB. And if you look at this figure, it impacts a lot the countries that are in biggest need because of the needs, financial needs or health system needs and so on. So unfortunately, TB remains the biggest infectious disease killer, but we are forgetting about that. We are forgetting not just about TB, but other diseases as well. Of course, we have to address and fight COVID, but not on the expenses of the other diseases. So I'm really aware very much of what Indonesia was doing to try to address this. And you confirmed that there were some measures put in place, but we know very well that there was a drop, probably globally, at around 25% in the number of people diagnosed in 2020 versus 2019. Maybe if you can translate that. Yeah.
Luzika menyampaikan di dunia, dunia sangat memperhatikan COVID-19 gitu kan. Dan di saat pandemi ini terjadi, sebetulnya TBC itu masih menjadi salah satu penyakit menular yang paling membunuh. Gitu. Di tahun lalu 1,5 juta orang meninggal karena tuberkulosis gitu. Dan juga negara-negara dengan yang masih membutuhkan penguatan sistem kesehatan gitu adalah negara-negara yang paling terdampak sebetulnya karena tuberkulosis ini. Tadi Mas Rahmat sama Mbak Dewi sudah menceritakan sebenarnya ada upaya-upaya positif yang sudah dilakukan, tapi di tingkat global secara umum pasti tetap ada penurunan gitu dalam capaian-capaian kita menanggulangi tuberkulosis.
So now, before we close, I would like to see what if they can think of so many thousands of people with tuberculosis in this world, and if they can give an advice to them to people, but also if there are other couples with tuberculosis, if you can give your own advice to people young like you, fighting TB, sometimes with very little hope, very often scared and stigmatized. And if they can give their advice, maybe first Dewey and then Rahmat, as the closure of this cute chat we had today.
Sure. Mbak Dewi, Mas Rahmat, untuk kita mulai menutup chat yang menyenangkan ini, mungkin boleh nggak Mas Rahmat, terus sama Mbak Dewi, mungkin Mbak Dewi dulu baru Mas Rahmat tadi katanya, memberikan saran, rekomendasi kepada pasangan-pasangan muda yang saat ini masih menghadapi TBC, yang mungkin di posisinya kalian dulu gitu, tapi apa yang mau kalian sampaikan untuk di Indonesia dan di seluruh dunia? Mbak Dewi, ya.
Buat teman-teman yang memang masih berjuang apa namanya di pengobatan TBC, terus yang memang yang masih muda, yang memang sedang berpasangan, ataupun yang memang belum punya pasangan karena memang terhambat atau karena memang sedang sakit, jangan putus asa, fokus dulu aja untuk pengobatan. Setelah sembuh, kita bisa kita bisa fokus untuk nanti mencari pasangan, atau karena yang namanya jodoh gitu kan, rezeki itu memang sudah ada yang ngatur. Jadi jangan takut ketika kita kena TBC, kita tidak akan mempunyai pasangan. Pokoknya semangat dulu untuk pengobatan, setelah sembuh baru kita fokus untuk mencari pasangan gitu kan. Kalau dari Dewi sih seperti itu. Pokoknya jangan takut tidak punya pasangan gitu kan. Sembuh dulu aja dari TBC, insya Allah nanti akan ada pasangan.
Thea, you can translate.
Okay. Aku terjemahin dulu sebentar ya. So from Dewi, she said, to all the patients who are fighting TB right now, whether you are in love or already married or whether you're single, please first focus on your treatment to get cured. For those who are looking for love, it aligns with the Valentine's Day moment. Please stay focused in your treatment and do not be afraid not to find love, because once you are cured and you are ready, love will come and follows you. So, do not give up on the treatment because there are good things ahead. So that's from Dewi.
That's really nice. So thank you, Dewi. And let's see what Rahmat will tell us.
Terima kasih Mbak Dewi. Ayo kita dengar dari Mas Rahmat.
Ya. Buat saya pernah dekat dengan tuberkulosis menjadi pelajaran penting bagaimana itu menjadi kita bisa berbagi juga. Makanya buat untuk yang teman-teman yang masih berobat, tetap semangat, terus berjuang lah Maksudnya jangan putus asa. Sama sih sebenarnya sama Mbak Dewi. Jangan takut, jangan apa? Sudah banyak yang membuktikan, maksudnya teman-teman banyak yang sembuh. Maksudnya waktu saya kenal berobat juga ada pikiran putus asa, namun itu bisa dilewati karena berpikir positif, karena melakukan hal yang baik. Karena mulai dari kita ya, mulai dari saya. Jadi tetap semangat menurut saya. Itu aja sih, fokus.
Okay. Yeah. So from Rahmat, it's a similar theme, but he also mentioned that in his experience living closely with tuberculosis, even though you're living with TB, you can still share with other people. You can share love as well. So, and do not give up. Keep fighting, because there's already many examples of people who have survived through TB, even DRTB. So she just said, like, keep on fighting.
That's really great. So I don't know how many people were looking at us, but that's not important. I am really honored that I had the chance to speak with you, Dewi and Rahmat. I am impressed by your story, in which your desire to help people with TB made in a way you meet. I am impressed that even though cured from drug-resistant TB, both of you continue to support other people. You are a very good representation of the young generation that cares for the others. And that's why I'm really grateful for your work and your support. So maybe you translate this, Thea, please.
Ya, Ruchika menyampaikan bahwa sangat berterima kasih atas kesempatan bersama kalian malam ini, gitu. Terus juga Mas Rahmat dan Mbak Dewi ini adalah contoh yang sangat baik, gitu, bahwa generasi muda, gitu, tetap peduli terhadap tuberkulosis, gitu.
Ada tambahan sedikit boleh, Mbak?
Ya, boleh.
Ya, jadikanlah kami contoh yang baik, dan kami pun setelah pengobatan tuh bisa diterima di masyarakat. Harapan ya teman-teman yang masih dalam pengobatan bisa mengikuti kami gitu, yang baiknya, Mbak. Itu sih.
Okay.
Terima kasih.
Yeah, so Rahmat said, yeah, thank you. We're seen as a good example, and he hopes that other patients or couples with TB who are watching this show, they can follow the good part of it, right? To continue treatment and never give up. He said, focus.
Yeah, good. Focus and never give up. And thank you so much to Dewi and Rahmat. And God bless you and all the best. Thank you.
Terima kasih. Tuhan berkati selalu. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye, Dewi. Bye-bye, Rahmat. Bye.